San Diego Living on this Tuesday morning. Now, imagine that you were allergic to wheat. Now, can you even kind of wrap your head around that? I don't know if you realize how many things wheat is contained in. You start reading labels, it's almost everything. Well, if you're allergic to it, it can actually be a life-threatening condition. So let's talk to an expert here this morning about how to eat healthy, eat well, and stay healthy, even if you have something called celiac disease. Shari Cole, good to see you this morning.
Hi, nice to see you.
Now, you started your company, Gluten-Free and Fabulous, 5 years ago.
Yes.
Why did you start it?
Well, my father has celiac disease, was diagnosed about 14 years ago.
And this is the allergy, and I should say it's not just wheat, but it's an allergy to gluten, which is contained in what?
It's wheat, barley, rye, and oats.
That's like every kind of grain.
Everything.
Practically.
It's in everything we eat. So what we talked about later, or before, is that you need to read all your ingredients. I mean, you have to read your ingredients. It's so important.
Now, why is celiac disease life-threatening, though, just because you're allergic to gluten? I mean, what does it actually do? Do we know?
Well, you don't absorb any nutrients. So it weakens the bones, and you become very anemic. You lose all your nutrients, you lose your electrolytes. So it's a very dangerous disease. And then there's other diseases that go along with celiac.
And I've known 3 children that I can think of off the top of my head that have had celiac disease, been diagnosed. They're very pale. Is that just coincidental, or is that there's something
you
going on
find that
there?
in a lot of celiacs because they're so low, they have no iron in their body. So, and they don't absorb it. So it's really important that they get iron and other nutrients in their bodies.
Now, how common is this? Because I know up until just a very few years ago, you didn't hear anything about it, and then all of a sudden you hear a lot about it.
Right. I think that not only doctors are becoming more educated, but the public's become more educated, and God bless the web. You know, I mean, that's really the internet.
Isn't that the truth? And I know that's one of the ways that your company is really expanding. Gluten-Free and Fabulous is expanding quickly on the web, and I have friends up in L.A., up in the Westlake area, that I think they discovered you about 5 minutes after you got on the web with this thing.
So ever since our web page, I mean, we do a great job, and I have a great fan page, and I can't believe the amount of hits that I get in a day.
So it's recipes, it's pre-prepared food that people can order from you. Well, let's go through some of the stuff here. I'm going to end up spending all the time talking and not sampling the food.
Well, right, that's the most important, right? That's the most important thing. You got to like sample the food. It's all about the food, right? And it's all about good food, and that's what we're into.
Yeah,
so,
gluten-free. Initially, folks kind of associated that with tasting like cardboard.
Right.
Not the case. You've found some really incredible ways to make it taste great.
Yes, and we've worked really hard because it's all about the taste. And my family, we love to eat. And I think you really have to love food and appreciate food in order not to abuse it. And so we're all about ingredients. We use all natural, we use organic, there's no preservatives, there's no additives. It's really important to us as a company to stay all natural. So, and to use quinoa pasta, which is a superfood. And the reason I'm the only company that makes quinoa meals, and the reason we do that is because it's very high in protein.
And what is quinoa?
Quinoa is a superfood. It's what the Incas lived on 2,000 years ago.
Okay.
It keeps
a grain substitute or a type of grain?
It's a type of, actually it's a fruit derivative that's grown from the ground, and then we crush it, and then we mix it with rice to make a pasta out of it.
Okay.
And so
that's what you kind of base this. That's what you replace the wheat and oats and barley with. Okay.
But we also wanted to have a really high protein meal. So not only people with celiac or children with autism, any immune deficiency diseases really should be on a gluten-free diet, but people that are weight conscious, bodybuilders, people that work out, quinoa is so high in protein.
Probably, you're thinking maybe I should probably pay more attention to what's going on here. Okay, now again, I'm going to flat run out of time before we even cook over here.
Okay. So anyways, here's our quinoa pasta. Let me just empty that real quick.
Empty that in. Yeah, go ahead.
That's good. We're good. We're all set. And I'm going to just we use
I was afraid the sink was plugged up, but it's fine. You emptied it into something else.
We're going to use a little Earth Balance. Earth Balance is a phenomenal, instead of butter, can't use margarine.
Oh, I was sure it was butter.
Yeah,
That's not butter.
And it's Earth Balance.
Okay.
And Earth Balance is just a phenomenal product to cook with. It is gluten-free, GMO-free, so that is really important. And we're going to stick our little, this is the cheese. Our cheese that we use is aged cheese, which is easier to digest, and for enzymes, some celiacs have a harder time. Now you can make this with, I'm using lactose-free milk, because some celiacs have a hard time digesting milk.
We've only got about 30 seconds, so while you're doing that,
I'm doing that.
Do I get to get a spoon and get in here?
Yeah, please do. And Here's your dish.
Okay, you
But
keep cooking.
What I did to make other meals is that I made a macaroni and cheese with casein-free, organic, Italian sweet sausage and broccoli. And then for school, I mean, moms, this is such an easy meal. And for school, kids can just put it in a thermos, and they can have their celiac meal, or kids with autism, or any, kids with any kind.
That is so rich, creamy, and delicious.
Thank you.
Nobody would ever know that is anything other than just the good old-fashioned fatty, weedy, traditional ingredients.
And I think we really get that creamy because we use different cheeses, cheddar cheeses. We use a white and a yellow, but it really gives us that nice consistency, that creamy consistency, like a mac and cheese.
Okay. Well, again, we are flat out of time, but I see fresh broccoli, I see beans, and is this chicken?
You can make chicken with the mac and cheese.
Fantastic.
Gluten-free.
Shari, thank you so much for coming in and for working so hard at making this stuff so good and so healthy.
Thank you.
So we'll put the website at our website and link everybody up. Gluten-free and fabulous, and Shari Cole.
Thank you.